Okay.
Hey folks, Sam here with Sam Wood Outdoors. I'm going to take a chance here today and I'm going to teach you about the many different types of traps. Now I'm not going to cover all of them, but I'm going to cover a good majority of them, how they work, what they do, what their purpose is, and what they're designed to do. Most of us already know what this trap is. This is called a snap trap. This is actually a larger version. They make them in a small version for mice. This is a larger version that they use for rats and weasels and stuff like that. It's basically set, you designed anybody can set it. They bait the pan when the animal steps on the pan or he eats the food off the pan. And it's basically designed to kill them instantly. So this is probably the most common trap in the world, but we're going to show you some different ones and what they are and how they're designed to be used and how we use them in today's game management practices. So let's start with the foot trap. The foot trap is a trap that is designed to basically catch an animal by the foot when he steps on it and to hold him there until the trapper can get back and either decide to release it because it's a non-target catch, or he can humanely dispatch that animal. It's designed to keep the animal alive and just hold on to its foot. Back in the day when the fur trade industry was really good and the mountain men were traveling across North America, these are the kind of traps they used. This is called a long spring trap, and this is called a double long spring trap. And these traps come in many different sizes just because they're designed for different animals. This would be used, let's say, on a beaver or maybe a wolf or a coyote. This one would be more or less on a raccoon, maybe a fisher, something like that. We also have the long spring traps, and as you can see, many different sizes. There's also sizes in between these traps. Again, coon, stuff like that. This one would be maybe used on a muskrat and stuff like that. And basically what it is this is spring steel here, and you can collapse that down and you set the trap just like this. And the animal comes along, he steps his foot on there, it goes off and it holds the animal until you can get back. Them traps kind of evolved into what we call a jump trap. A jump trap basically has one single spring just like this on one side, and the jaws open up the same way, and again designed to hold them by the foot. And again, many different sizes. You're looking at beaver, and you're looking at raccoons, and then we're looking at even smaller for muskrats. So that's that. Now, today's modern trapping industry has evolved into what we call a coil spring trap, which is this right here. This is probably one of the most common traps used today. And again, it comes in many different sizes. And they're even smaller than this, and you can get them bigger than this. But these are the traps that I got. And the same thing, they're designed, the springs right here are what hold these levers, and when the animal comes along and steps on the pan, trap goes off, holds the animal. A lot of people are saying that these are inhumane because that breaks the animal's leg, or it breaks their leg off. That's not true. We don't want the animal to get away. And I've done this hundreds and hundreds of times. I've set that trap, and then I've caught my hands in it just like that. No broken bones, no blood, no nothing. So that stuff right there is all kind of a myth. If you use the proper size for the proper animal and the proper set, very, very humane. Holds the animal there humanely until we can get there. Lots of times I come up on the trap, the animal's sleeping, and that's that. So now, if you want to get into these traps, these are called, their brand name is Conibear, but they're basically a body grip trap or a kill design trap. And they're quite restricted on their use here in Wisconsin. This big one right here would be used for, it's called the 330. It would be used for beaver and otter. And this trap has to be in the water at least half submerged in order to be legal. But then again, we got other ones that are, a little bit smaller. And this one is designed for mink, possum, stuff like that. Raccoons. Here's one that's got double springs, kind of small, designed, it's excellent mink trap. And then we also have them with a single spring designed for muskrats. And how this trap works is the animal swims or walks through and touches the trigger, and it's designed for an instant kill. You're trying for two different positions. One is a single jawed catch, which this would be, and that would be caught the animal right behind the head and killed him instantly, or a double jawed catch where the animal may have made it far enough through there that this one hit it behind the head and this one caught it in the body, and that's where they get the term body grip trap. We'll go down here. Another foothold trap that is becoming very popular today is the DP trap, or dog-proof coon trap. It is designed, you basically would set this trap just like this. Let me set this other one, that one needs a little tuning. But you'd set the trap just like this, and you would put bait down in the inside. And there's a trigger on the inside. The raccoon would reach down in there and pull up on that trigger, and then it would cause that trap to go off. And it basically would hold him by the paw. They designed this because a lot of guys were trapping close to towns or stuff, and they didn't want, or they have dogs and they don't want to catch their dogs. So it's called the dog-proof trap, or DP trap. I always say that DP stands for definitely possums, because you'll catch them too in there. Another trap that a lot of people use, and I even use them, is a live trap. This is designed, and when I use this is when I'm going to catch basically a nuisance animal, whether it be a nuisance raccoon or a nuisance possum, and I want to be able to let everything else go when I get there, and I don't want the animal around. Like, I could use a foot trap, but then the animal's kind of out in the open, and people see it, and you know, we gotta take respect there. The landowner, I don't want them getting bit. So this kind of contains the animal, and again, comes in many different sizes. You know, I've used this one on raccoons and possums. This one works great on little bit, it's good for skunks, but works great for squirrels. And what happens is you set the bait in the back, the animal comes in here, steps on this pan, drops the door, and you have them. That shouldn't be confused with what we call a colony trap. Now these are muskrat traps, and you set them in the water. A muskrat he's got trails in the water just like we have game trails on shore, and he swims in there, and then the door closes and he can't get out, and it's submerged in the water and he drowns. So we're going to go in a lot more depth here in the next couple of months on the different sets we can use with all of these traps. So don't get confused. This is just a general overview. The last one I want to talk to you about is a snare, or what we call a cable restraint. In Wisconsin, we can't use a snare. We have to use a cable, what we call a cable restraint. And these are basically set in the game trails, and the animal would walk through just like this, and then he would pull that down and it would collapse around his neck and hold him. Now a snare doesn't release. It holds him tight and gets tighter and tighter and tighter and chokes him off. Here in Wisconsin, we're not allowed to use them. We use what we call a cable restraint. When the animal's pulling, it'll stay locked around, but the minute like a dog or anything would sit down, it'll just release just enough to hold the animal and not choke him off. So that's basically all the traps. If you have any questions or comments, put them down below. I'll get to them and answer them. And hey, thanks for watching.